Hi gang, Rob here. It is the evening of January 2022, Thursday night, 9 o'clock. Time for a knife sale and a couple watches on the Apostle P channel. And a knife sale is exactly what we shall have. Before we get into the meat of the inventory, a little bit of housekeeping as usual. First of all, I need you to be familiar with and agreeable to the terms of the sale. I'm going to post them on the screen for you in just a moment. I'm also going to reprint them in the description underneath this video. Also in the description at the very top above the terms, you're going to see 3 links to previous videos on the channel. The first is to my Primer for Buyers video. That is a 38-minute expanded explanation of how things work and why, including an explanation of the terms of the sale. For new buyers, it is very important that you watch that and be familiar with it. Second is a link to my FAQs for Consignors video. If you're interested in using this weekly sales event to move along some of your collection, and almost all the items on this weekly sale are consignments, that video will familiarize you with how it works from the consignor's perspective. And then the third link, as always, is to my rates and services video for the Apostle P Knife Service, the original precision sharpening service for the online knife community. So in the description under this video, 3 important sections. First are those 3 links. Second, the terms of the sale. And then third, at the very bottom, is the list of tonight's inventory, complete with timestamps on the left and pricing on the right. In that pricing column, you will usually see 2 numbers. The number to the left is your as shown price for a knife. The number to the right, as sharpened by the Apostle P Knife Service. Current wait time is about 3 weeks, maybe a little less, unless you buy one of the first 6 knives purchased to be sharpened tonight. That will be done if you're among that first 6 tomorrow, Friday the 21st, and those will ship with all the as shown inventory. I think that's about it for housekeeping. It's time to get the terms up on the screen. We'll be right back with the inventory. Here are the terms. All right, let's get to it, shall we? First up tonight, we've got 2 leftovers from last week, both of them watches. Here is the first one. This is from Stauer, S-T-A-U-E-R. It is the Stauer Dashtronic automatic watch. A very cool piece. Notice the time display. The red track on the outside is minutes. The black track on the inside, hours. Kind of a tonneau-shaped case. Dimensions are 39 across, 44 lug to lug, 22 lug width, just 12 millimeters thick without that double thick NATO strap. On the back, I think there's a display case back. There is, but there's nothing special to see there. It's just a Chinese automatic movement. But a pretty cool piece. Mostly brushed surfaces except the bezel, which is part of the face actually, which is polished. Just some tiny hairline scuffs and scratches, but very presentable. Signed crown. And you get not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 22 millimeter NATO straps to go with this. You've got a gray one installed, a navy blue one, a black and gray bond, and a black and silver or white bond. These watches came with a very cheap leather strap that apparently fell apart quickly on this one. They sold for $150 brand new with that cheesy leather strap. This one you can buy, and we'll call it excellent condition. A lot less than that. We ran this for $100 last week. It didn't sell, so we dropped it to $80. Didn't sell for $80 this week. $69 all in, shipped priority mail. That is the Stauer Dashtronic automatic watch. Next up, this one got to be the buy of the sale. Got to be. This one from Orient. And it was kind of a social media darling for the last couple of years. Comes in an outer box and then an inner box with some padding, a pillow, paperwork underneath. This is, and depending on what retailer had these, determine what they called it, okay? Some places called it the Triton, some called it the Neptune, but here is the deal. It is the reference number RA-EL0001B00A. Right. It is the Power Reserve 200 meter diver. Now this has had some very tasteful mods. Okay. First of all, the owner had the aluminum bezel insert removed, and that's actually a pretty good looking aluminum bezel. And he had installed this fully indexed, fully loomed sapphire bezel. And I will throw a loom shot in now so you can see how that looks. Not bad. Most sapphire bezels that are loomed kind of suck. This one's pretty good. And then the Orient brand, of course, part of the Seiko group. And I think Orient has been stealing Lumabrite from Seiko for a few years. The loom is very good. So you've got a 120 click unidirectional bezel, and it lines up okay. It's kind of in between, just to keep it, true to the Seiko, the Seiko group. And then you've got a case, which is 43.4 in diameter, 51 lug to lug, 22 millimeter lug width, 13.6 thick. You've got the Orient caliber 40N5A automatic movement with power reserve indicator. And let's see, I'm going to unscrew that screw down crown. Right now it looks like we've got about 36 hours of power reserve. I'm going to wind it and you'll see that indicator creep up to 40. It does hack, it does hand wind, as well as have an automatic winding mechanism. Date window of 4, matte black dial. A stubby arrow hour hand, a sword minute hand, and a white tipped seconds hand. Pretty cool. Nice case back. Now this is wearing a Hirsch hybrid leather and rubber strap. I don't think they call this a Robbie, but they might. Kind of the same basic construction. Polished signed Hirsch buckle. You're also going to get the factory bracelet, which is in hardly, if at all, used condition. I just pulled out one half of it to show you. Fully stamped clasp on this one. Nothing special. And then you're also going to get a strap code Angus J. Louis, which is a stunning piece of work. I have this same bracelet on my Alpinist, and I so do love it. And then you're also going to get a black and gray seatbelt Bond NATO. So here's the deal, guys. This watch in original form retails web pricing for about $432, which is, I think, what my seller paid for it. And then with the mods, okay, so the Hirsch, the Bond NATO, the strap code, the sapphire bezel, and the labor to install it, he's got $800 in this thing. We ran it last week for $495. It didn't sell. We knocked it down to $425. This week, are you sitting down? $325 for everything you see here. And guys, condition on this, very near mint. Just a couple super tiny rubs on that case, and that's it. $325. Are you kidding me? I'm not kidding you. That is a steal. All right, give me a minute to get all this stuff stowed. Oh. And on to the fresh stuff. Next up, oh my, oh my. From the Benchmade Knife Company, Oregon City, Oregon, we have a 940 BK Osborne. The 940 BK is now discontinued. You've got your rich green hard anodized aluminum handle purple titanium backspacer. Parkerized Emerson style clip on this one. S30V blade, beautifully coated in basic black. And guys, if you watch me much, you know I'm very persnickety about blades on the 940. Depending how they're sharpened at the factory, they can get short and they can get narrow. Okay, look at this one. Nice long tip, very deep beard area. It was well sharpened with minimal material taken off at the factory. Action is gorgeous. Lockup is rock solid. Centering is dead. I will say very, very close to perfect. Extremely near mint in box. These are discontinued and out of stock. For like $190 was the last pricing on these. This one can be yours, and it is a superb example. $175 like it is, $195 with my edge on it. That's the Benchmade 940 BK. Next up, here you go, 940 lovers. Another Benchmade, another Osborne, the 940-2001, meaning the first special 940 of 2020. And this is, the 940 titanium with gorgeous velvety bead blasted titanium handle scales, a stone washed shorty deep carry clip, red hard anodized aluminum standoffs and thumb studs. Blade is CPM S90V. This says limited edition number 281, my old eyes say. And this one, guys, there might be a little clip wear. It's hard to tell if that's clip wear or stonewash. But I'm going to say extremely near mint. Lockup is rock solid. All right, get the rhythm here, Rob. Nice action. A little hydraulic. Beautiful. Centering on this one is perfect. So near mint to like new in box. Discontinued and out of stock, of course. Special run, sprint run. These are doing between $400 and $590 on eBay. Sold transactions. This one, $375 like it is, $400 with an ApostleP edge. Next day sharpening if it's the one of the first six. That's the 940-2001. Next up, from Spyderco, by way of Taichung, Taiwan, we have a Domino in the original configuration with the black weave, carbon fiber over G10 laminate. Look at the chatoyance in that argyle pattern carbon fiber. I always did dig that. So this is one of Spyderco's first entries into the ball bearing flipper market. They did okay with these. Not as bad as some. Advocate. Yeah. So what do we got here? 4 9/16 inch handle. Leaf shaped blade, 3 1/16. Designed by Eric Glesser. Blade steel is going to be CTS XHP. Fingerprints. This appears to have been touched up and stropped, and it looks like maybe that XHP spotted a little. I don't know if you can pick this up, but it looks like it was Scotch brighted very lightly, or maybe he was just trying to get rid of some of that aggressiveness in that factory satin grind, because they are pretty aggressive. There's your lock engagement. It is rock solid. Motion on that ball bearing mechanism, definitely better than most dominoes. Silky. Blade centering on the domino is perfect. We'll call it excellent in box because it has been touched up and it has been kind of Scotch Brite polished on the blade just slightly. I think these are gone, discontinued, out of stock. eBay sold listings are running between 156 and 200 as of this morning. This one can be yours. 140 shipped priority mail, just like it is. 160 if you'd like it with an ApostleP edge. That is the Spyderco Domino. Next up, another from Spidey. This one not from Taiwan, but from Golden, Colorado, USA, right here on Earth. As my old buddy, the Cajun Blaze, likes to say. Shout out to Brian. And by the way, guys, this is not just any Paramilitary 2. It is the Blue Ridge Knives exclusive with the forest green G10 and the blade of Carpenter's CTS 204P. Now, this knife would be like new in box, except it looks like my consignor carried it like one time, probably went for a drive, put it in his lap, got out of the car, and dropped it on the pavement, because the very corners of the G10 show just a little bit of that whitening, right? But yeah, the cutting edge is absolutely pristine. No marks on the blade except my grubby fingerprints. Lockup is rock solid. Action is beautiful. And the centering on this one is perfect. So near mint in box. They're out of stock, of course. They ran these quite a while ago. Sold listings for this model on eBay running between 170 and 257. This one can be yours. 175 shipped priority mail like it is, or 200 with an ApostleP edge. That's the Spyderco Para 2 FG 204P. Next up, we have a discontinued and out of stock knife from Zero Tolerance Knives. And this one is the ZT0350OR for orange. So the 350 is kind of the entry-level latecomer to the ZT Ken Onion line. So not an exotic steel, just S30V. Not a titanium frame lock, but a thick stainless steel liner lock. Not a ball bearing flipper, but a speed safe spring assisted flipper. And this knife just appears to have been stropped. I get a little burnishing in the bottom of that stone wash, I think you can see. And yeah, kind of a sticky cutting edge, guys. S30V blade, and the blade length on this 350 is 3 1/8. The handle is 4 1/2. The lockup is dead solid. There's your engagement. Blade centering is gonna be perfect. And the speed safe action is beautiful. Got that Parkerized old school Kershaw butter knife clip. Gonna be 4-way positionable. Condition near mint in box. They are discontinued. They're out of stock. I could find no current listings, no sold listings for this model on eBay. I did find one sold listing on Arizona Custom Knives that sold for $145. There are none available except this one in the world that I could see. Your price, $120 like it is, $145 with an ApostleP edge. That's the ZT0350OR. Next up, another old ZT box for a discontinued and much beloved model, the ZT0561 Hinderer. This, ZT kind of bumped along the bottom for years, guys, with their onion line. And then they had some goofy in-house designs. And they were regarded well just for having high-quality manufacturing. But their designs, yeah. And then came along the partnership with Rick Hinderer and the ball-bearing flipper. And there were several in the Hinderer line. This was the flagship, the 560 and 561. The 61 gets you that flat dark earth G10, titanium lined on the show side, 3D machine titanium frame lock, Hinderer lock bar stabilizer, deep carry ZT clip, a non-steel inserted titanium frame lock, and that ball bearing pivot, and a blade of L-Max. Now, some of you will recall early in the run, maybe the first 1,000, 1,500 pieces, ZT had some major heat treating and processing issues with L-Max. Somewhere about between the 1,500 and 2,000 serial numbers, they made a call to Mike Stewart. He taught him how to heat treat L-Max and grind it. This is serial number 5959, so you're going to have no issues. And this knife is long discontinued. There's your lock engagement. There is your centering, and it's very close to perfect. No death lock, so you can have your fingers on the lock bar. It still flips well. Very minimal, the kind of lock stick that I like. Just lets you know that lock bar is seated and secure. Let's see. Condition, I'm going to call very near mint. It appears that it's been stropped because a little of that stone wash is burnished close to the cutting edge, but other than that, this knife is dead new. Super cool. Man. So, long discontinued, much beloved, a significant knife in ZT history. Sold listings on eBay are running between $300 and $400 as of today. This one can be yours. Merry Christmas late. $240 like it is. $265 with an Apostle P edge. And you know what let's do? Let's go ahead and make this the Rob's pick this week, because it's way under market, and we're not going to let the early birds see it. First in after 9 o'clock gets this one. $240 like it is, $265 with an Apostle P edge, the ZT 0561. Next up, from Escanaba, Michigan, USA, home of Bark River knives, we have the Aurora 2. The Aurora 2 in CPM 3V. The perfect blade steel for a knife this size. It's going to come in an Obanoff's waterproof treated pancake style sheath with either vertical or cross draw carry. Inside is that thing of beauty. 5.5 inches of 3V blade with Mike Stewart's idea of what a bushcraft blade should be. This is kind of an all-purpose camp knife, isn't it, really, guys? Yeah. The handle is 4 9/16 inches of California Buckeye burl. I just want you to look at the figuring in that Buckeye. Oh, my. And in hand, guys, I'm telling you. Oh, it'll do everything. Condition on this one is going to be near mint in box. I'm saying there's very slight patina, and you got to just have the light right even to see it. It's kind of shadow patina, and it's from nothing other than just sitting in the sheath. If you're really anal, you might want to get out your flits. Mike would run it out to the buffing wheel, but I wouldn't. I'd just deal with it. Yeah. So this knife brand new was about $340 web retail. I think the MSRP was $439, so it would have sold for about $340. This one can be yours, and I think they're out of stock everywhere, by the way. $225 like it is. $255 you'd like it with an Apostle P edge. It's the Bark River Aurora 2. Put her back home here. Next up, we got another Barky. We do. This is the Canadian Special, also in 3V, with one of my favorite handle materials, the black and green layered linen micarta. This also in an Obenauf's treated leather sheath with either vertical or cross draw carry. This one wearing the fire steel loop. And the Canadian Special is a famous pattern. Let me wipe that blade. That, my friends, is one useful blade shape. I know it looks a little odd to the American Bowie knife eye, but oh my. Oh my. And look at that black and green linen. And I don't know about y'all, I wear a large glove, and the finger grooves in the Canadian Special are perfect for my hand. I mean, perfect. This one has been lovingly touched up and strapped. So we're going to call it excellent to near mint in box. Web retail on this knife would have been about $210. I couldn't find any in stock anywhere with this handle configuration, but that's about what it would have been. This one can be yours in box with that Obenauf's treated sheath for $160 like it is. $180 if you'd like my edge on it. That's the Bark River Canadian Special. Next up, in our final Barky of the night, this is a Kalahari Bushman 2. And I believe that is one of Jason Toon's brain children. Okay? He likes to do dealer exclusives where he makes small knives just a little bigger, and that's exactly what we've got here. So you see we've got a wet formed Obenauf's treated leather sheath. We've also got a virgin sheath that's never been out of the baggie, and then we got that. So this is a first production run of the Kalahari Bushman 2. And this is the full meal deal, guys. CPM 3V blade, 4.5 inches of blade, 4 5/8 inches of Kalahari handle. That's a Mike design. Mosaic pins, desert ironwood freaking burl. Lovely mosaic pins. Now this one appears, I think it's been strapped. Very near mint in the box. This knife was very expensive with that handle. It was $430 web retail. $430. Am I saying that right? No. I'm sorry. It was $430 MSRP, $438 to be exact. So it would have retailed on the web for about $330. This one can be yours, $235 like it is, $255 with an Apostle P edge. And did I mention the handle? Oh, yeah. The Bark River Kalahari Bushman 2. Next up, this is a knife that I featured, I don't know, maybe a month and a half ago. I can't believe nobody bought it. I just set it back on the shelf and I thought, you know what? I'm going to hang on to this for a little bit and bring it out another day. This knife has serious social media and the Apostle P channel history. This is the Enzo Trapper. This is a custom Enzo Trapper kit knife purchased by Campfire Talk, my old buddy from the early days of YouTube. Purchased for his son, and he wasn't real confident about his ability to assemble it and haft it. So he sent the kit up to me, and I finished it. Curly birch handle scales, brass pins, red liners, satin finish on the birch with, I don't know, like 20 coats of tung oil. Beautiful Scandi Vex that has my edge on it. Still scary, and I bet I did this like 10 years ago. Scary sharp. It wasn't ever used. I put thumb divots in the handle, and they're perfect. It's really made for bushcraft, so the swell in the center is there for a reason. It just fills that palm. The blade is D2, 3 7/8 inches in length, 4 1/8 handle, and it is like I made it, like new. No box, just the blade slip. Just the blade slip. I think we ran this initially at 150. No takers, dropped it to 125, and that's where it's going to stay, guys. If it doesn't do 125 tonight, I'm just going to send it back to Campfire Talk. And his son can find another way to fund his go-kart racing career. I can't believe you guys would deprive Campfire Talk's boy of funds to assemble his go-kart. So 125 like it is, no need to sharpen. The custom Enzo Trapper. Next up, we're going to take a little detour to China for a while. We've got 5 Chinese knives. I call them CPOS knives. The acronym CPOS. You guys figure it out. First among them is this one right here. This is the Red Horse Knife Works Hellraiser. Gee, I wonder why. We've got a carbon fiber set of handle scales with black nested stainless steel liners. We've got a red pivot collar, looks like G10. We've got like black polished hourglass standoffs. I couldn't tell if that clip was titanium or stainless. I got a ball bearing pivot with thumb studs, works beautifully. I got an S35 VN blade that appears to be DLC coated, 3 11/16 in length. The liner lock is blackened. No, it isn't. It's polished stainless steel. Lock engagements right there. It's rock solid. Action is beautiful. The centering is perfect. The handle is 5 inches in length. Let's see, how's it in the hand? Pretty doggone nice. Interesting choil. Looks like something I might have designed. Kind of a straight razor design. Rock solid. So yeah, this knife brand new was $280 web retail. I think they're gone. I know they're gone. Your price on this one is going to be $230, $230 like it is, $250 with an Apostle P edge. Next day sharpening available if it's one of the first 6. The Red Horse Knife Works Hellraiser. Next up, you guys know I don't dig Chinese knives, but I gotta say, this is David Deng masterpiecery. Riat Jack 2.0 in brown burlap micarta with an M390 blade and black PVD with a hand rubbed satin blade face. Made December of 2019. There's a pouch, there's extra hardware, there's a cleaning cloth in the box. And here's the thing of beauty. Integral titanium handle. It's like a tumbled black PVD coating. Look at the millwork and the spine of that handle. Look at the lanyard hole that's integrated. Gonna have a tip up milled titanium pocket clip. Very interesting pivot collar, for lack of a better term, treatment. I've got either thumb studs, which I think they're really blade stops. Yeah, they're blade stops because they don't flick too good. Beautiful flipper. There's that blade. Gorgeous hand rub satin. And here's this was the most impressive aspect of the knife. This has a polished factory edge that I couldn't improve on if I wanted to. It's beautiful. Not super high grit, not super high polish. Looks like about 1,000 grit, but it's just beautiful. Super well done. There's your steel inserted titanium frame lock engagement. Lockup's rock solid. Action's beautiful. Centering is perfect. Very hard to see. Blade's 3 3/4 in length. M390, as I said, 5 inches a handle. And oh, that handle. Yeah. It's just beautiful, guys. These are out of stock. When they were available, they were $475 web retail. This one can be yours at $425 like it is, and I ain't sharpening it because it doesn't need it. That is the Riat Jack 2.0. Next up, moving over to the Wee knife. And the model inside is the 2003A Mini Buster. The Snex, I think it is. Mini Buster, is that what it is? Snex. Well, that's what it is, Snex. So the Mini Buster, an angularly milled titanium handle with a pretty cool backspacer treatment. It almost looks like an integral, but it's not. I've got a discreetly steel inserted titanium lock face insert. Beautiful engagement, rock solid lockup. Let's see. CPM 20 CV blade, a shimmery glass bead blast, 3.5 inches in length, 4 9/16 inches of handle. Beautiful flipping action. Smooth motion. Perfect centering. Condition on this is like new in the box. Web pricing on this model is $289 at your favorite internet knife purveyor. This one can be yours though for $240, all in, shipped, priority mail, $265 if you want my edge on that 20 CV blade. That is the Wee 2003 Alpha Mini Buster. Next up, let this be a lesson to you guys. Good thing this is not a Civivi knife. This pouch was in the very top of an overstuffed box of knives, and the box was taped extremely securely. That cut is from this rather tame and innocuous looking serrated Spartan blade. I did it. Thank God it's not the original pouch, because it ain't even a Civivi, my friends. This is a Chavez Ultramar TAK, which stands for Tiny A-Word Knife. This is the black G10 version with that cold steelish texturing, titanium Mick Jagger skull clip, flipper mechanism, M390 blade, satin running everywhere. Titanium liner lock, beefy, thick titanium, ball bearing mechanism. Beautiful action. Blade length is 2 3/4 of M390, 3.5 inches of blade. So super efficient blade to handle ratio. The handle only 3/4 of an inch longer than the blade. That is good. You can see how close the axis of the pivot is to the end of the handle. That's why. Nicely done. Everything's totally squared away. Perfect action, centering, lockup. We'll call this near mint to like new in the box. Now these were available when new at $215 web pricing. They are discontinued and out of stock. Sold listings on eBay are run between $287 and $340, believe it or not. This one we're letting go at $210. $210 like it is. $235 with my edge on it. Next day sharpening available if it's one of the first 6. You know, if I said in box, which I probably did, that is incorrect. It does not come with a box. It comes with a cut Civivi pouch. Okay, next up, from Homer Zhu, www.homerknife.com, we have his T-Rex Custom. Look at this thing, guys. Would ya? Look at that milled and bicolor anodized titanium handle. Bronze titanium backspacer. Super cool custom lanyard with a golden or brass, probably, Darth Vader Stormtrooper helmet. Interesting little copper bead down here. All hardware is titanium on this knife. That blade is VG10, but heat treated to Rockwell C scale 60 to 61, so that's not going to be Spyderco VG10. And then something like a blackwash finish, kind of a PVD tumbled finish. This is serial number 191. I think you can pick that up right there. Blade length is 2.5. 3 5/8 is the handle length. Does have a ball bearing pivot, and I think those are ceramic ball bearings. They feel very precise, not, no jiggle or wobble or grittiness at all, just super smooth. And the centering is going to be perfect, as is the lockup. So this is like new in box. It was $400, brand new from the maker. This one can be yours $320 like it is, $340 with an Apostle P edge. That's the Homer Zhu T-Rex Custom. Next up, this was in my teaser yesterday. It is a black class knife from the Benchmade Knife Company. It is the 3300 BK-2001 Infidel. I think this was the anniversary year, 2000 or 2020. So we got upgraded blade steel and we got some special handles. This is one of them. Look at that marina blue hard anodized aluminum handle. And then you got that blade, no longer D2 but S30V. This is a limited edition. Normal blade wiggle, medium button effort, 100% on the reliability of that opening and closing mechanism. For those of you who don't know, the Infidel comes with a 3 15/16 inch blade and a 5-inch handle. It is, of course, a double-edged knife. When these were new and available, they were $446 web retail. They're gone. They've been gone for a while. This one can be yours, like new in the box, $420. $420 like it is, not sharpening it. Double-edged knife doesn't need to be that sharp. That's the Benchmade 3300 BK-2001 Infidel. Well, there was a special Benchmade. How about a special Spyderco? We got one. It is the Paramilitary 2 CU Rex 45 BK. That's a model name that actually makes sense. Cu is the chemical symbol for copper. BK would be black DLC, and Rex 45 would be for Rex 45. Oh, are you kidding me? So yeah, this is a Blade HQ exclusive. The solid copper scales came with it. It was made like that. How about that? Beautiful action. Rock solid lockup. And the centering, it's close enough to perfect for me to call it perfect. And the conditions like new in the box. Oh, wow. So they're out of stock at Blade HQ. They've been out of stock for a while. When they were available, they were $224. All right, so get this. Sold listings on eBay. And there are a few. Between $240 and $270. What they are bringing. People are paying for them. Country Knives has managed to gray market a few of them. And they have them available for $348. They're good at that. God bless America, Country Knives. This one, so not $240 to $270. Certainly not $348. Like new in the box, a beautiful example. $220 like it is. $245 with my edge on it. That's the Spyderco Para 2 Copper Rex 45. Next up, from the Smoky Mountain Knife Works, we have titanium scales for a Benchmade 535 bug out. They're not Flytanium. These are the ones that are sort of unbranded or Smoky Mountain branded. Okay, and they appear to have been installed on a knife, but they are not anymore. And they're in very nice shape. Definitely near mint. I don't find really any marks on them except the evidence that hardware has been in them at some point. So a nice set. They're $60 at Smoky Mountain. They're currently in stock and available. This set can be yours. $40 shipped priority mail. No postage to pay, no sales tax to pay. $40 all in. On the titanium scales for Benchmade 535 bug out. Next up, we've got a little run of 4 Great Eastern Cutlery knives that do not have tubes. So these next 4 do not have tubes. First, from the 2019 run of the number 92 Eureka Jack, this is the titty version with that elderberry peach seed jig bone, that super cool shield, plain bolsters and end caps, spear main, drawn swedge and a nail neck, and then the coping blade secondary, back spring on the secondary side wraps all the way around. So pull weight on this one's going to be about 7. 3 and 11/16 closed length. Walk and talk is perfect on both blades. The centering is very close. I'm going to call this very near mint, no tube. Okay. Sold listings on eBay for this knife in this cover material, doing between $200 and $240. Oh, how they have crept up. This one can be yours, no tube. $170 like it is. $195. I sharpen both blades. That is the GEC Titty number 92 Eureka Jack. Next up, okay, be careful in your I'll take it's. I got 2 GEC 44s coming up, so they're going to have different descriptions. Make sure you reference that in your I'll take it email. Here you go. First is the Great Eastern Cutlery Titty number 44 Buffalo Jack bone. Golden rod jigged bone specifically. Model number 441218. 3.5 inches in closed length. I call it the 44 Magnum. Gun stock. You got a main clip blade with a solid 7.5 pull. Beautiful clip, drawn swedge and a nail neck. Walk and talk is stunning. You got a huge pen blade with a PPP, Patty's potato peeler etch on the front, right where Patty ought to be, right front and center. Walk and talk stunning. Centering appears to be down the middle on both blades. Condition is near mint, no tube, none. I found 1 sold listing for this knife on eBay, and this cover, it did $329. I can't even believe that. This one can be yours, no tube, $180 like it is, $205, and I sharpen both blades. That's the GEC Titty number 44 Buffalo Jack bone. Next up, the second of our Great Eastern Cutlery Titty number 44 Buffalo Jacks. This is going to say in your inventory, GEC Titty number 44 Buffalo Jack linen, because it's got that OD linen micarta that is aging nicely. It's turned a very dark green. Hot dog shield, plain bolsters and end caps, 3.5 inches of closed length. The stunning drawn swedge nail knit clip point main. Solid 7.5 pull. Perfect walk and talk. Look at the size of that pen blade, would you? On a 3.5 inches closed knife, that's insane. Perfect walk and talk on that one. I'm going to call the centering close. Why did I say that? Boy, it's awful close. The main blade might favor the right side just slightly. Condition on this one's going to be excellent to near mint. No tube. No tube. The only reason I'm saying excellent to near mint, I don't know. I guess the end caps and bolsters could use a little polish. Okay. Let's see. I found some sold listings for this knife. Actually, just one for this cover material. It was $215 on eBay. This one we're going to do at $150, $150 like it is, $175. I sharpen both blades. That's GEC Titty number 44 Buffalo Jack linen. Next up, well, we got us a Northfield, boys. Yes, we do. Need a little polish. Yeah, a little rub. All right. This is the number 29 Stockyard Whittler. Look at that fine jigging on that blood red jig bone. Northfield shield. So this is a 3-spring Whittler, right? So no catch bit, no split back. It's a 3-spring Whittler pattern with a clip main. Yeah, I got a couple scratches in that blade. It's been used. It's been sharpened. 6.5 pull. Perfect walk and talk. Perfect centering. Secondary sheep's foot. And a tertiary awl. So condition on this one, we're going to say excellent. No tube. No tube. I found some sold listings for this knife in this cover material on eBay. Between $170 and $250. This one with no tube and a bit of a user, we'll price it at $150, $150 like it is, $175. I sharpen both blades. No need to sharpen the awl yet. That is the GEC Northfield, number 29 Stockyard Whittler. Next up, we got a big boy. It is a Great Eastern Cutlery Titty number 235120L Beaver Tail Trapper in jigged Brazilian cherry with old Bucky on the shield. Yeah, you betcha. And that's some good looking jigged Brazilian cherry, I gotta say. I don't really like that cover generally, but this is a superb example. Nickel silver bolsters, brass liners. Look at the size of the back spring. And it is a closed end knife. No big gap in there for stuff to accumulate in. It's just beautiful. Oh! Gorgeous drop point blade. Closed length on this thing is 4.5. You'll have almost 4 inches of blade on this thing. I'm going to call the pull weight a 9. You better have a hold of it when you start pulling it out. And then there's your liner lock. It just rests on top of the blade tang. So there's usually a little play, and there is. That's by design. It doesn't mean there's blade play. Walk and talk smacks. Blade centering is dead. Condition on this one is going to be like new in the tube. Sold listings on eBay for this out of stock knife between $170 and $270. All over the map. This is a super fine example. Your price $185 like it is, $205 with an Apostle P edge. That is the GEC Titty number 23 Beaver Tail. Next up, this one's pretty cool, boys. It's a big old titty tube. Why is it so big? Well, because inside resides the number 971119er Allegheny in autumn gold jigged bone. It's going to come with the button. Why is this one cool? Well, here's why, I think. Not so much because of the bone. It's kind of garden variety, GEC jig bone. It took the die well. The jigging pattern is big, just like the knife. The Coke bottle presents well. The blade. The full height, flat ground. Cut swedge, long pull. And I love the etch on this clip point blade. The script Allegheny and then Belle Riviere. Beautiful river. The beautiful river in French. Look at that blade, would you? Oh. Now this is typical Allegheny. Pull is about 6. I'm going to say 5.5, maybe 6. But it doesn't have blade wobble. And the walk and talk just sounds gorgeous. Centering is going to favor the right slightly. But here's why I love this knife. You know why. You know why. Because it's a PPP. It's a Patty's Potato Peelers Knife Pattern Production Premiere. Are you watching, Patty? You just love it when I do that. I know you do. Condition, going to be near mint to like new in tube with button. Prices on eBay for this knife and this cover, sold listings between $150 and $165. Tight little group. This one can be yours at $140, shipped priority mail. $160 with my edge on it. Next day, sharpening available if it's one of the first 6. The GEC Titty number 97 Allegheny. Next up, we don't see enough of these. I hope we see more. It comes in a cardboard tube, and it is a slip joint traditional pocket knife, not a GEC. Trestle, pine, knives, American-made cutlery. Detroit Lakes, Minnesota. Handcrafted to be used, enjoyed, and handed down. It is the Trestle Pines topper in old growth ash. And here, well, I'll show you the card first. Little Trestle Pines Knives story. Signed by Greg Holmes. I think Greg of TSA Knives, I believe. And here's the knife. It is a pretty cool little gun stock affair, I must say. Brass hardware, triple line bolsters, plain end caps, nicely chamfered. And look at that old growth ash. We got a main clip with a long match striker pull and a cut swedge and a saber grind. We'll call that a 7 pull. 3 9/16 inches of closed length. The back implement, what? It is a cap lifter and a screwdriver. Are you kidding me? Those won't sell. Perfect walk and talk, perfect centering. Condition is like new in the tube. I couldn't get a pricing reference because they're unobtainium. There are none of this model anywhere. There was some European website that had a listing for a discontinued one, priced around $200. I don't know. So go find one cheaper. I don't know. $195. This one's yours. $210 if you'd like it with my edge on it. That is the Trestle Pines topper. Okay, guys, we're going to finish out the sale with 5 donated knives for the Oz Fettinger Leukemia Fund, and the first 2 of them are GECs. Oh, this first one is a model I've never had in my hand. It is a Northfield, and it is a number 761213 in burnt stag. It is the 76 Outlaw Jack. And I'm telling you what, I got to open both these blades so you can see this handle. Are you kidding me? Would you look at that? Is it a dogleg jack? I guess. It's not a gun stock. I got to call it a dogleg. An opposite end jack, clip main, space secondary. Both blades polished. Northfield etch on the main blade. Let's see here. Titusville Ironworks Tang stamp. Superb walk and talk. Pull weight is a 7. 3 9/16 inches of closed length. There's the match on your stag. Not bad. Not superb, but not bad at all. Slanted, lined, and pinched bolsters. Man, that is a lot of knife, guys. Condition is near mint to like new in the tube from 2013. I have no idea. Didn't look how many they made, but it couldn't have been many, and I couldn't find a pricing reference anywhere. I mean, not anywhere. There was a similar knife, but it was some kind of a club knife, and it sold for $800 on eBay. But yeah, so not this one. How about $295 like it is, $320 if you'd like it with an Apostle P edge on both blades. That's the GEC Northfield number 76 Outlaw Jack. Net proceeds to the Oz Fettinger Leukemia Fund. Next up, we have one from the Great Eastern Cutlery line from Great Eastern Cutlery, the Acorn series. It is a number 15S116 Navy knife in burnt orange jigged bone. Comes with a Navy knife button with a saluting sailor. And here's the knife. It's got that gorgeous burnt orange jig bone, the Acorn shield, double line bolster, nicest bail action I've ever seen on a GEC. Easy open notch, and then that 440C Navy knife, rope knife blade. Oh, beautiful walk and talk. 7 pull. Listen to that. Snap. Oh, yeah. Centering is dead. Condition on the Navy knife, I'm going to say, is like new in tube with button. I can only find one completed listing for this knife with these covers. And it was a best offer accepted by it now. The list price was $349, so it sold for less than that, but probably not a lot less. This one is like new in tube with button. Your price $250 like it is, $265 my edge. Next day sharpening is available if it's one of the first 6. It's the GEC Acorn number 15 Navy knife. Next up, time to head over to Maniago, Italy by way of Sulphur, Oklahoma. This is a LionSteel knife commissioned by this my collector knives. The CK0112 RFC. This is the Euro Barlow series clip point bladed shuffler. The shuffler, 3 3/4 inch closed length Barlow titanium bolsters, shred carbon fiber covers, double long pull cut swedge M390 clip point blade. It is a stunner. Perfect walk and talk. 7, maybe a 7.5 pull. Like new in the box. Centering is down the middle. These are in stock currently at Collector Knives. You can buy them brand new for $134. Or just buy this beautiful example. 110 shipped priority mail. 130 is my edge on it. That's the LionSteel CK Shuffler. Next up, I didn't know these existed, guys. from who? O Knife. That would be the knife division of Olight. This model is the Parrot. The Parrot comes in matte finish black canvas micarta with black hardware, a black deep carry pocket clip. It's a front flipper on ball bearings. Really, I promise. Blade steel is 154 cm, 2 5/8 inches of it. Handle is 3 5/8. Mechanism is a stainless steel liner lock. Ball bearings. Lockup is dead solid. You saw the action. Centering is hard to see, but it's perfect. We'll call this near mint to like new in box. You can buy this knife brand new at your favorite retailer for $75 online, or just buy this one for $50, like it is, $70 with my edge. All net proceeds go to the Oz Fettinger Leukemia Fund. Next day sharpening available if it's one of the first 6. That's the O Knife Parrot. And that, my friends, brings us to the last knife in the sale, and it's a pretty special one from Spyderco. It is the C194 CFTIP Myrtle. Crafted in Taichung, Taiwan. Check this thing out, guys. Now, this is not my cup of tea, but you got to appreciate it. It's a titanium frame lock with a shred carbon fiber scale on the show side. And is that backspacer? Oh, I can't tell what that is. The backspacer is black. So you got that gorgeous Taichung tumbled bead blast. Looks like a big old hunk of titanium pocket clip. The handle length is 4 7/8, not a small knife. Phosphor bronze washers, carburized titanium lock face, a nestled opening hole. Check this thing out, guys. What? That is a double recurve Warncliffe. Designed by Philippe Deleu. 3 3/4 inches of double recurve Warncliffe. I guess with some belly in the middle, why not? Condition is going to be near mint in the box. There is your lock engagement. Just the slightest bit of stick. Your centering is going to be dead. They're discontinued, but guess what? I found one in stock at Oso Grande for $252. This one can be yours, shipped priority mail. $190 like it is. $220 if you want me to sharpen it. I'm charging you $30 to sharpen that S30V thing. Because it's not going to be fun. Next day sharpening is available, though. And net proceeds to the Oz Fettinger Leukemia Fund. That is the Spyderco Myrtle. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of another Thursday night knife sale on the Apostle P channel. Hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. Remember, the word is sharp. Have at her, boys. And Rochelle.